The nation's report card has been released, and the U.S. is failing. The results of a national exam show 4th and 8th graders have fallen dangerously behind in math and reading since the start of the pandemic. Nikki Battiste has more on what's driving the scores down.
New York City mother Luana Factora says her son Madden struggled during the pandemic. He's now in 8th grade.
Before the pandemic, he was always on the honor roll. After that, it was just, he couldn't get his grades back up.
It was pretty hard, challenging.
The 2022 National Assessment of Educational Progress reports math scores for 4th and 8th graders plummeted since the last test in 2019. It was the largest decline in math since testing began in 1990, with nearly 4 in 10 8th graders failing to grasp basic math concepts and only 1 in 3 students meeting reading proficiency standards.
The results were sobering.
Peggy Carr is the commissioner of the National Center for Education Statistics. The results showed Black and Hispanic students fell further behind than their white and Asian peers, and girls declined faster than boys.
Why is that?
Well, we don't know precisely, but we think it has to do with socialization. Maybe they were differentially impacted by being isolated during this time.
Carr says while schools should focus on boosting math scores, parents can help their children make up lost ground simply by reading together.
The message to parents is that this is serious. It will take all hands on deck, and they're one of those hands.
Madden told me he was easily distracted during remote learning, but he says now that he's back in class in person, school has gotten easier. His mom says being face-to-face with his teachers has helped her son's grades begin to improve. John?
Nikki Battiste in New York City, thank you. For more on this, let's bring in Sean Reardon. He's a professor of poverty and inequality at Stanford University's Graduate School of Education. Sean, let's start just with why this data from the National Assessment of Educational Progress, the so-called NAEP data, is so important in the work that you do.
Well, the NAEP data are really our best way of monitoring and assessing how well America's children are doing in school. We've been giving these tests to big samples of kids for decades now, and so it lets us see how things are progressing. And what we saw in the new results was a decline of historic proportions. So I think that's a call to action for America's schools, but also for American society in general.
So we know that the pandemic was a major driving factor, but I was struck by kind of behind those numbers, the poor. So, for example, on the kids that were doing poorly in math, half of them didn't even have computers in their homes during the pandemic. Others who were not doing well had no space in the house in which they could work. What other underlying causes did you see behind the numbers?
Yeah, so some of those are likely to be substantial drivers of it. And I think you'll see a lot more analysis and research using these data coming up in the next few days and next few weeks. But I think it's important to remember that children's performance in school is affected not just by their schooling experiences, whether they were in or out of school, whether they had laptops and broadband access and things like that, but by lots of non-school related things too. So if family members were losing their jobs, losing income, family members were sick, the stress of living sort of in an isolated way, whether, during the shutdowns periods of the pandemic when kids couldn't socialize with anyone. I think all of those contribute to the kind of stresses that families feel and that children feel, and that make it harder for them to learn even under the best of circumstances. So I think the story we're going to see emerge is that some of those declines have to do with their schooling experiences, but some of it has to do with things that weren't about school, but were about all the other ways that the pandemic affected children's lives and mental health.
And so as a researcher, what in these data are you looking for? What's on your to-do list as you look through and try to tease out what exactly was going on with these drops in numbers?
Well, I think one of the things people will be looking at, and myself included, is what happened to inequality in educational outcomes. The pandemic didn't create educational inequality, but it certainly exacerbated from what we can see with the high-level numbers, and we'll be digging in to try to understand that. Also, one of the great things about NAEP is that it lets us see the extent to which patterns changed in different states or in different large cities, and we can start to see whether or not there were conditions in those different places that might have led to more resilience or more harm for children. And so we're going to kind of try to understand, why did it vary? Why did the impacts of the pandemic vary so much across place? Some states saw just astronomical declines, and other ones saw only modest ones. Everywhere saw declines, but they varied a lot in how big they were. And understanding that, I think, is going to help us understand why the pandemic had the impacts it did and what we can do then to remedy it.
So as a last question, Sean, I was struck that in Detroit, where there is a lot of kids live in poverty, just 6% of fourth graders were proficient in math in 2019. In these data, that number fell to 3%. So my question is, in some of these communities, it just feels like this is a drop on top of already a drop. Is this a problem that can be solved?
Yeah, as I said, the pandemic didn't create educational inequality or inequality of opportunity in America, but it did exacerbate it. And Detroit has long been a place where families and kids haven't had the economic and educational resources and supports to create the kinds of opportunities they need to thrive the way children in the other parts of the country are. And the pandemic made that worse. So I think one of the things that comes out of this is a real call to action for the nation to sort of think about not just how do we get back to where we were, but how do we reduce inequality even more so than just getting back to where we were? Because even if we got back to where we were, we would still have a lot of educational inequality in this country.
Right. A call to action, and let's hope someone hears it. Sean Reardon, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, John.